As one of the first in the world, the prototypes developed by the two winning teams, Huawei and BuzzAR, will showcase how the synergistic combination of AI, location information, and map visualization can open limitless potential across industries. Starting with Huawei's prototype, here is a first look at its interface. Now, a little bit about myself. My partner and I are keen on home ownership, and we have been keeping our eye out for options. We want to live near either of our parents to qualify for proximity grants that HDB offers. Now, traditionally, to do this, I would have my web browser open. I would scroll through different property sites, turn on the filters, shortlist the properties that I want, open them in multiple tabs for easier comparison. And if I'm feeling hardworking enough, I would then copy those addresses onto a map source, pin them to a map. I would zoom in and out to see what amenities are available around there, and then hop on over to HDB's website, read through the policies, and then assess if my shortlisted properties are eligible for the grants. That is a very tedious process. And this is where Huawei's OneMapGPT comes into play. Here, I'm just going to key in what I want in the chat. I want to be near my parents in Tampines, a HDB about 800K. The results show up in the list to the left, with the shortlisted properties automatically pinned onto a map on the right, with cards below displaying further information like the number of bedrooms or the availability of aircon units. What about schools and MRTs that are nearby these properties? I ask OneMapGPT. It consolidates the information in a list for me and shows me where the schools and MRT stations are so that I can compare their relative positions to the shortlisted properties. It also highlights how this proximity is calculated, in this case, using a 500-meter walking distance radius. Supermarkets? Now, what I have done thus far is just to type in my queries as I would in conversation with a friend. And by making inferences from my input, OneMapGPT has been able to consolidate location data and shortlist the relevant ones. The results look good thus far, but hey, if I were to purchase this, I want to know if they qualify for a proximity grant. Here, OneMapGPT prompts for my parents' address because it is aware of the distance requirements of the proximity grant. I tell it my parents' postal codes. OneMapGPT then tells me that all the properties are eligible for the grant. I'm going to take it a step further to ask it for the exact distances. Now, behind the scenes, OneMapGPT is running all these geospatial calculations to know how HDB's proximity grants may impact the properties shortlisted. The ability to train OneMapGPT with published policies and data sets has potential to transform the way that we access government and commercial services alike. Perhaps in a more relatable example, the school holidays are starting next week, and I'm planning an itinerary for my family. So it's for my niece and my parents. I ask OneMapGPT for outdoor activities that are close to East Coast, and it gives me some pretty good options. I might be keen on getting a car share, so I ask OneMapGPT if any of it is available, should I be coming from Tampines. Now, traditionally, getting a car share for me would mean searching for their locations on a separate app, but OneMapGPT does this for me in an integrated interface, and it is so seamless. I also want to take my niece cycling, so I ask OneMapGPT to show me what my options are. Recommended bicycle stations are clearly populated on a map based on where my starting point is. Today, most of us are already used to viewing location data and having our navigation options viewed on a map because it is the most intuitive and efficient way of representing spatial data. Tapping into what feels native to us, OneMapGPT provides us with navigation options while considering modern transport options like car sharing and bike sharing in its personalized recommendations. I could also ask what food options are available in the area, narrowing it down to what I know my parents enjoy more, Asian cuisine. Cheekily, I also ask if there are any food deals in the area, and it does tell me my options, showing me, for example, the 5% cashback that I might get at some places. Unlike traditional map sources that are more suited to recommend places of interest only, OneMapGPT has the ability to also provide recommendations for events that take place. Given my niece's interest in music, I want to know what family-friendly music-related programs might be available around Sentosa, where I'll be heading. OneMapGPT provides me a list of program options, including the location of where they may be taking place, whether in Sentosa or somewhere nearby like Vivo City. Finally, to get to Sentosa, I asked OneMapGPT what my travel options are by public transport. By integrating various types of data in a single interface, OneMapGPT allows users to get the best of both worlds, with spatial and non-spatial information visualized neatly on a familiar map and chat. In a creative alternative approach, meet Bay.
Hello there. Welcome to Singapore. Where are you heading to on this lovely day?
Buzz AR's winning OneMapGPT prototype, your new travel buddy and AI chatbot with an interactive avatar, aiming to create a seamless travel experience for tourists. Now, upon landing in Changi Airport, I tell Bay that I'm headed to the Marina Bay Sands for GeoConnect Asia, a work conference. Bay uses the OneMap API to generate the optimal travel route for its users. Unlike typical travel recommendations that a tourist might find on mainstream travel pages, Bay's recommendations are personalized, having first taken the time to profile and understand the user's background, purpose of trip, and preferences. Here, it recommends me a couple of food spots in Singapore, based on my profile as a Korean traveler who enjoys samgyeopsal and soju. One of my favorite features of the app is that it allows me to save Bay's recommendations in my own favorites list and is automatically pinned onto a map for easy future reference. And this is just the beginning. OneMapGPT demonstrates a new way of interacting with the world around us through the seamless integration of AI and geospatial. How can OneMapGPT be used to explore the world around us? To try us to believe, we invite the audience to try out the prototypes at SLA's booth by Huawei and Buzz AR. We welcome all feedback. We also have representatives from the winning teams who will be there should you be keen on finding out more. Lastly, thank you to our partners for making OneMapGPT a reality with us. And thank you for joining us this morning. May you have a great time here at GeoConnect Asia 2024.